Hey everyone, today we are making this awesome React project. It's basically a Ray.so clone with some additional features. For those of you who don't know, it allows you to create beautiful screenshots of your code snippets that you can share on Twitter or similar platforms. You might have seen those, they're quite popular. Now coming to its features or customizations, of course we are going to have multiple themes, about 10 themes to choose from. And yes, you can flashbang your viewers with the light theme as well. Each theme has a dark and corresponding light version. It has support for all the popular languages. And to magically detect the syntax, we'll add the auto detection feature as well. You can use your favorite font and they also have ligatures by default. We have about 14 fonts here. Adjust the font size and padding to increase or decrease the background size, or completely remove the background if you want. And yes, you can stretch its width and reset it just like you may have seen on Ray.so. We have 4 export options here: save as PNG or SVG, or copy the link to share the exact state with anyone. All these components here are from ShadCN UI. We'll also see how to set it up with React. So now that you are as excited as me, we can start building this project. First, let's set up everything we'll need for this project. You can skip this step, just grab the starter code from the description below and go straight to building it. I'm using Vite to initialize a new React app. We'll be using Tailwind CSS for styling. Follow the usual Tailwind setup. Using this meta tag, set the color scheme to dark to let the browser know that the interface is dark. Now for ShadCN UI, we need a JS config to set some options. In case you are wondering, the whole process is listed on the documentation. Next up, we need to configure the import allies in the Vite config. Now we can install the ShadCN UI. TypeScript, no. Style, New York. Base color, neutral. Global CSS is our index.css. Hit yes, except for server components. It's time to add the components we'll be using. We need button, card, drop down, input, select, slider and switch. Index.css will be overwritten. Let's add a component to check everything works. Right, now we can get rid of everything else. Finally, install the dependencies we need. HTML to image allows you to screenshot a DOM node, React Simple Code Editor, Highlight.js for syntax highlighting, Fluoride for auto language detection, Resizable to enable resizing of the code editor, React Hot Toast for toast notifications, and zustand for state management. I'll add the toaster before I forget. Let's just also add the themes, fonts, languages and other stuff we'll be needing. The languages we'll be supporting, you can copy this file from the starter code I'll leave below. The themes that I've put together, it's just a gradient background and a highlight JS color scheme for the syntax. Some popular monospace fonts from Google Fonts and some code snippets so that we can show something on the editor when a user loads the page. And we are done with the whole setup. Now we can finally start building it. Let's start with our main code editor. Set the dark theme and center the content with a dark background and light text. We should have a class name helper that comes with ShadCN UI. Set a minimum width, border, round the corners and shadow 2XL. Black background with some transparency and a subtle border color to go along with it. For the title bar or header, make it a grid with 6 columns. Center vertically with decent padding. I'm going for a macOS style title bar which has the control buttons on the left of it. 3 round buttons, red, yellow and green. And the title should span 4 columns out of 6 to make it centered. Default it to untitled, remove the spell checking, and to make it easier to edit, select the whole value when the user clicks on it. Style to make it look like a title. Now the actual code editor. Import the React simple code editor. I'll set a code snippet for now. Highlight the code with highlight JS. Don't forget to set the language. Its default auto detection is very bad. We'll use a separate package for it. It will not highlight anything yet since we've yet to add a theme. Set the font styles. There's an outline on focus that we don't want on our editor. Similar to the title, you can make it select the entire code on click, so the user can paste their code with ease. Next up, let's set up the global store using zustand. We want it to persist in the local storage. Add the following states with default values: title untitled, theme hyper, dark mode enabled, show background, language plain text, auto detection disabled, font size 18, font style JetBrains mono, padding 64, and set the name for the store. It is recommended to get the individual states this way. I did not find any other sane way to dynamically switch the style sheets based on state changes. We'll have to control the link href to dynamically switch the highlight.js theme and the font styles. Make sure to set the cross origin to anonymous, it is important. Write the code editor with a background. Hide content overflow. We'll be transitioning the themes, dark mode, padding, etc. Show the theme background, else show a ring around it so the user can still see the bounding rectangle. The padding and its ref will need it soon. Let's just also provide the state to the editor as well. Change the background and border color based on the dark mode. Set the title. Now for a special trick for the syntax. We'll turn up the brightness a bit when in dark mode. We'll not be having a separate light theme. Instead, we'll turn any white text to dark gray. Turn down the overall brightness to half, saturate the colors, and double the contrast to counter the dullness due to less brightness. Let's check it out. It should provide enough contrast and still look good for any theme. Finally, set the code and language to the editor. For a safety measure, default it to plain text in case language is not set. The font doesn't look anything like JetBrains because it should be font family, my bad, and use the user selected font and font size. Let's show a random code snippet on mount. And for the auto detection feature, it should be enabled first, of course. Use the Fluoride package to detect the code language. No unknown will make it return an empty string when the detection fails. Set it to plain text if unable to detect. And finally, our code editor is done. Now let's move over to the controls and customizations. We'll implement those on a floating card. It'll be fixed at the bottom so that scrolling won't affect its position. Add some transparency with a blur effect in case it overlaps with our code editor. Main function first. We'll need a way to export the screenshot of our editor. Let's add that. Since we'll be needing multiple export options, only fair to use a drop-down menu. Set the trigger to a button. It'll need the reference of the DOM node that needs to be exported, which is our editor ref. Now the menu options. I don't know why, but unless you specify this dark class, some of the ShadCN UI components do not respect dark mode. I'll be adding 4 options, namely copy image that will copy the screenshot to the user's clipboard. Copy link that will allow you to share the exact state of the editor and controls. Save as PNG and SVG. Add a separator between the types of options. Coming to the implementation. To copy the image, first we'll have to generate a blob from the DOM node using the HTML to image library. You can increase the pixel ratio to upscale the output resolution. I am doubling it. Initialize a clipboard item from the blob. Finally transfer it to the clipboard. It may take some time to generate. You can notify the user of the process. Let's check it out. And that's our MVP ready to go. But we need those other options as well. To generate a link, we'll have to save the entire state on the URL. Since the code can contain literally any character, we may break the URL. It's safe to encode it into a base64 string using the built-in B to A function. It'll generate the link, but it won't work yet, since we don't have anything to handle it. We'll add that in a minute. Let's finish the options first. I'll be using a single function to handle saving images in different formats. Using switch case on format, generate the appropriate image type and file name. Using an anchor tag, we can prompt the download window. We can use the title as the name for the image. And that's all there is to it. Let's try it. It's saving as undefined for some reason, but the title is untitled, although it works perfectly. Let me fix that. It should be the name that we provided, and that should be it. Don't forget the copy link functionality. I believe the app component should handle it. On mount, get query params and only proceed if there's at least one. Then make it into an object. Decode the base64 encoding for the code. The numbers and booleans would be in strings. We'll have to convert them. It should work now. Now let's add some customizations to it. Starting with theme selection. Add a small label up top. Provide a trigger and limit the width. Since we have all the themes as an object, use object entries to map them. You can also preview the theme or just list the name. Finally, get the current theme from the store and provide it. Also set up the onChange handler. I am directly setting the state this way. Don't know if it's a bad practice, but configuring a separate setter function feels counterintuitive. It should be done, I think. Wrap it with cart content and make it flex row, wrap content and remove the padding. Something's wrong with the name. Forget the curly braces. Let's add it to Oceanic for now. Let me know your favorite theme among these. The language selection will be similar. We just have to change some things. Together with all the language options, add another option for auto detect. We have to handle it separately. So when the auto detect option gets selected, turn on auto detection and set the language to plain text. Else turn off auto detection and just set the selected language. You can add an icon or an indicator to let the user know the auto detection feature is active. Let's see it in action. It's overflowing the screen. Maybe limit the height. Let me verify the auto detection. Alright, let's move ahead with the font selection. And that's it basically. It should work without a doubt since we already have the style sheet set for these fonts. Next up is the font size. It's also going to be a quick one. Use the same label and an input field. Force the dark mode and limit the width. You can set a minimum font size. Make sure to convert the value to a number first. Now to control the padding or background size, it's best to utilize a slider input. I'm adding a margin Y to center it among other controls due to its lower height than the others. Since it's a multi-value slider, it'll accept the values in an array. Make sure you set a max value, and to increment or decrement by a certain amount, set a stepper value. It shouldn't affect the editor's size, maybe that's because of the browser size. Alright, now we are just missing those two switches to remove the background and toggle the dark mode. Similar reason for its margin Y. And finally the dark mode switch. And that's all the controls. Feel free to add more if you want. Only one thing remains now, to allow the resizing of the editor. We have the resizable library for that. We only want to resize its width. It's important to set a min width, otherwise you can squish the editor. It will be left and right padding plus the min width of the editor. Before we wrap up, let's fix the weird positioning of this export button. Separate it from the rest of the controls and center it. Well, that's all the features that I can pack into this video. I'll be happy to see you improve upon this project from here. That's why I'm giving you 2 tasks to implement on your own. The first one is this width measurement when the user is resizing the editor, and this reset button. And the second one are these keyboard shortcuts for the export options, Ctrl+C to copy and Ctrl+S to save. Let me know how you end up implementing these in the comment section below. I'll be dropping more interesting project videos like this, so make sure you are subscribed and turn on the bell notification.